We are well underway, almost an hour through period 2 of our championship round on Santee Cooper reservoirs. Dean Rojas continues to lead. Jesse Wiggins, Jacob Wheeler. Wheeler's only 4.5 pounds back. Inside our Major League Fishing studios with JT Kenny, I'm Chad McKee as we get to day number 6 on these fisheries. And it's fun to go back and take a look at our Deep Dive segment. Jonny Schultz from Deep Dive is with us now. Jonny, this is kind of fun because you can go back and look 6, even 8, 9 days post the first time that you kind of started looking at things on Deep Dive. How has this fishery or these fisheries changed since these anglers got here several days ago?
Yeah, the conditions have been changing rapidly on both lakes the anglers are fishing this week, but it does seem like Lake Marion has definitely presented itself as the best of the 2 lakes this week. Today, specifically, we actually have some very unique conditions. If we take a look at a full view of Lake Marion, you can see that the wind has been blowing strong out of the north over the first few hours of competition, and this has actually affected a lot of the anglers that are fishing offshore. Wheeler and the other anglers who are fishing out in open water are struggling to get some of those fish to bite because of those wave activity in the areas. However, Dean Rojas has been able to get behind some protected areas and some smaller creeks, get out of the wind and put some fish in the boats. In addition, though, we have Jesse Wiggins and also yesterday's leader Cole Floyd fishing in a little bit different part of the lake. And if we take a look at the water clarity feature in the Deep Dive app, you can see that the water has changed dramatically since the week before competition. There was a ton of muddy water in this area, and as the tournaments progress all the way up till yesterday, day 5, the water's been clearing up dramatically. I think that's been a big player in why these anglers are targeting this specific area of the lake. It's going to be interesting if this area continues to hold up throughout this final day, or if the winds calming down in the main lake are going to help those offshore anglers like Lucas and Wheeler get on some of those offshore fish.
You know, one of the things that I think is so interesting about this is I've been kind of watching on my app and then watching as we go to each of these anglers, and you can actually see throughout the 4 days of this 6-day event that we've covered that I can see through the lens of the camera where these guys are fishing, look at my app, and visibly can see where these areas are cleaning up, or also some of the areas that actually aren't cleaning up. So it's, I mean, for a fact, this thing actually works. Like I'm in a unique position here to be able to look at all these anglers and look through basically through their eyes and actually watch day to day the app and the camera and see this lake actually cleaning up. It's pretty fascinating.
It's been really cool to watch, actually, because you can compare the satellite imagery we use to create these maps with the actual images that we generate in the app, and it's completely spot on. And you can see all of these different waves of clear water that move across the lake with the wind and with the influx of water. And it's been very fascinating to watch both the map visualization in the Deep Dive app and the satellite imagery and see how close they are together. It's been a really interesting and one of the main factors that's kind of driven where anglers are fishing throughout this fishery. And the areas that are clearing up in the Deep Dive app have definitely been the most productive this week.
JT brought up a really good point the other day, Jonny, in talking about just the average angler, the average fan, who maybe is planning a trip a few weeks from now, how you can download the Deep Dive app, keep track of the fishery, and kind of know what you're getting yourself in store for when you finally get to that fishery. How can people get the app, and how are some of the ways that the average person, fan out there can utilize Deep Dive?
For sure. With the Deep Dive app, we don't just have these water clarity and wind effects visualizations. We also have a database of over 10,000 tournament patterns we've collected from live coverage. We have pro anglers, some of them they're actually fishing on the BPT tour right now, collecting this data, and we're able to give you the best patterns, baits, areas, and techniques based on the actual lake conditions as well as the seasonal patterns on your fishery. You can download the Deep Dive app at the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, get access to our massive database of tournament data, and get these real-time lake condition maps like the water clarity and wind effects map to make sure that you're in the best areas in your lake throwing the right baits.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jonny. It's great to talk to you once again. We look forward to visiting with you for the next several events we have on the Bass Pro Tour. And thanks for helping us dissect what we see with the Deep Dive app.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for the opportunity, and best of luck to all the anglers the rest of the day.
Thank you. They have needed it so far out on Santee Cooper for many of the reasons that Jonny was talking about there, the way this fishery has changed. Here you get a look at it from overhead. It's cleared up a little bit, but it's still pretty chocolatey, JT.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're looking at Wheeler right here as we get down here a little bit closer. And he's been one of the guys that's been staying in that dirtier offshore water. And what's really cleaning up right now quickest has been kind of the backwater areas, and that all that mud is kind of flowing through the system and kind of staying out on the main body. But still, now that the wind is calming down, some of that sediment will be able to kind of just settle back down on the bottom, and even this main lake should start clearing up.